tier list here. So, first things first, which one is this? The Wand of Camblon? Hold up, let me just create a never played section because I have never played or heard of this Zelda game. So, never played. Yep. Four Swords Adventure, also never played. Link's Awakening. Thing is with Link's Awakening, I'm pretty sure that there are like a lot of people that like Link's Awakening. Why are there Tingle games? But like, it just kind of like stale. It just doesn't have like a strong hook to it, which like encouraged me to like actually play more of it. And I just don't really like the gameplay that much. So I'm gonna put it in F, cause like the hook's the most important part. Wait, there are two Link's Awakenings? Well, am I thinking of the right Link? No, I was thinking of Link to the Past. Oh, never mind then. Um, uh, okay. The tier list crashed, I guess. Let's get this. Okay, so never mind. Link's Awakening. Let's give Link to the Past there. So let's just put Link to the Past in F tier. So Link's Awakening. It Okay, so I'm gonna judge it based on Switch remake because that's the only one I played. The, it's fun. It's like fun to play. Its dungeons are cool, but like the gameplay gets like stale really fast. So I'm gonna put it in like E because like it isn't like as stale as just A Link to the Past here. Next one up, we have the Oracles, which I never played. We have Wind Waker here, and Wind Waker I say is a solid. I have to scroll up here. Wind Waker I'd say is a solid A plus tier, because the problem is with Wind Waker is that it kind of loses its like how should I say this? Like it kind of loses its aspect of just exploring later on because you get all these teleportation things. And also, like, they could have just set up, like, a fun, cool thing with, like, the Hyrule Castle, but they kind of just didn't really initiate on that. So, on to Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is a solid S tier. Um, thing is, unlike the other Zelda games, Twilight Princess it has a great story to it. It also has a banger soundtrack, absolutely good soundtrack. That few of the other Zelda games compete with, and the bosses are awesome. The dungeons are also awesome. Wolf Link is cool, and just the exploration is also great and fun in Twilight Princess, and it just the game like has a really good hook. It's really interesting. So yeah, this is a solid S tier. There's like nothing I can complain about, and like the puzzles are just like way better. Like they're way harder and way more confusing, which is what a puzzle should be. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity goes into like D tier because thing is, it's a Warriors game, so it's just spamming the Y button, which surprisingly did hook me for a while at the start, but yeah, it gets stale. The first Hyrule Warriors, it also goes in D tier because yeah, just spamming Y. But I guess it was kind of, but something about like the original Hyrule Warriors is just more entertaining to me. I don't know what, but Spirit Tracks. Okay, so here we go with Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks, you were on a train and like the hook was really good. However, there's barely any dungeons. There's just like too little to do. There's just not much in the game. Like there's some like train upgrades, but not really that much. I'm gonna put an tier because it's so fun. However, there's just not a lot to do in it. Like the game mechanics and it being interesting. Stupid. Ah, okay, back over here again. Where is it? Over here, I think. Okay, yep, here we go. Skyward Sword. It's like the similar thing with Spirit Tracks, but I'm gonna put on B. There were barely any dungeons, but like you still like came back. You came back to like the same three areas, but like yeah, you got to explore new places. But still, the amount of dungeons there were was very few. We have Triforce Heroes next. Honestly, this is definitely gonna be an S tier. It was incredibly fun. Like now it was mainly a multiplayer game. Now no one plays it because it was dead. I was like playing it like as it was dying. Like a couple days before like you just went online on Warriors and couldn't just find a game at all. But like there were like multiplayer puzzles. There were like these cool power ups and all, and like you had to have teamwork with it. And although and even though it was getting like the gameplay was getting kind of bad at the end with the story mode, there was always the battle mode you can do, which was fun. And there's also these like out of bound glitches where you can kind of destroy your teammates with and throw them out of bounds and get them stuck, which is always fun. The Adventures of Link. I'm pretty sure this is Zelda 2, Adventures of Link. But anyway, Zelda 2 was kind of just 2D and kind of bad here, so. Okay, what's this? I hate this! Stupid tier list! Okay, I cannot zoom in or else this thing just refreshes on me. And I have no idea what this title is, so I'm gonna put it never played. Cadence of Hyrule, I have actually played this. It's just it's like it has 4 hours of gameplay, and after that you beat the game, and it gets really stale after that. So it's going in E tier. Um, Hyrule Warriors again, literally the same one. Zelda's Adventure, never played. Ocarina of Time, it's going in B tier. It has a good amount of dungeons and all that, but like the puzzles are kind of stale. There's like, and the bosses are so boring in Ocarina of Time. Like the the I believe like the puzzles changed in Master Mode to include these time blocks using the Song of Time, but like the puzzles are just stale. The combat easy. There's nothing really going for it. Phantom Hourglass. So I'm gonna put this in. Um, I'm gonna put this in A plus with Wind Waker because you like went around the sea, which was cool, and like there was like a lot to explore in it. You just kind of moved around and went to islands. It's kind of like with Spirit Tracks, you just moved around, went to islands, and did some dungeons. There was also this just one big dungeon, which was kind of fun to do because it was timed. Actually, I'm gonna put a point down on it because that one dungeon wasn't hard at all. You had way more than enough time. Um, Zelda or Ocarina of Time Master's Quest. I have no idea the difference between this. It's a master. Why Twilight Princess get? Why are there two Twilight Princesses? Let's put you back in top tier again, I guess. Yeah. Master's Quest was kind of like the harder difficulty, I assume, but yeah, it's just harder than what Ocarina of Time needs. This Link to the Past again. This just says Link, and I have no idea what game is just Link. Four Sword Adventures, don't ever played. Okay, Link's Awakening remake. This is the Link's Awakening I actually played. I'm gonna knock these down a tier because they're probably not as good as the remake is. Um, Next one up we have the Minish Cap. I've never played the Minish Cap, and Zelda One. Zelda One's cool for its time. I put it in C tier in front of Hyrule Warriors. Majora's Mask, honestly, S tier. Thing is with Majora's Mask is that you had these like. Let's go ahead of. Let's not go ahead of Twilight Princess actually. The thing is with Majora's Mask is that you had this limited time thing, which was like really good because you had a limited amount of time to do dungeons, which was a fun mechanic. You had a limited amount of time to solve these puzzles and do these quests. And if you missed a time, you had to start the quest over, which was an interesting mechanic. It was fun. However, there's also this song of reverse time, which kind of ruined it because it doubled the amount of time. It half the amount. It like slowed down time by 2 times. So yeah, but you could easily play without it. The dungeons were cool. Just getting all of the masks were cool. Actually, let's put it down to A+ because there are only like 4 dungeons. The more Tangle games. Okay, Link Between Worlds, solid S tier. Solid S tier. Link Between Worlds was incredibly fun. It had the You had to go between like both Laurel and Hyrule to like solve some puzzles, do some quests on, and get some heart containers. The puzzles were the puzzles didn't match Twilight Princess, but like they were still great and fun. They were still like better than the other Zelda game puzzles, like Wind Waker, which doesn't really have any good puzzles. And Breath of the Wild, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Thing is with Breath of the Wild is that it mainly focuses on like combat and exploration. And thing is that the combat is incredibly easy. It's just like bashing a bunch of enemies with weapons, and if you're in at the point, if the combat is just bashing the enemy a bunch of times with your weapon, the weapon durability just starts to get annoying really fast because you know you can beat all these enemies, and now you're conserving your best weapons and using your weak weapons against the enemies, and it just gets annoying. And also, there are no puzzles at all besides like 3 shrines, and Vana Boris is like the only divine beast that actually like has a hard puzzle. I mean, there's also the divine beast at the end of Champions Ballad that has some puzzles, but that's DLC. You only get very few of these hard puzzles in the first place. So yeah, it's going in B tier. For the exploration though, exploration's cool. It can be engaging for like the first like 10 hours, but like then it kind of starts to fall off. The side quests are not really that fun to do either compared to like a Link Between Worlds side quest. Yeah, just Majora's Mask, but better graphics and better control really. Um yeah, this is like the GameCube version. This is the 3DS version I played on. Gonna bump this down to I'm gonna keep that A actually. Um, Ocarina of Time 3D. Okay, yeah. Let's put this on B and bump this down because yeah, like the other 3DS version, it was just better graphics, better control than the Game Boy. Link's crossbow training. Yeah, no. Skyward Sword again. You know. I actually played the original Skyward Sword instead of the remake. And yeah, it's just better graphics, and you don't have to deal with the. I actually like the motion controls, to be honest. Like, the motion controls were like the kind of main part of the game, and they can't just take away the motion controls, so actually, I'm just gonna put Original at B because yeah, it's just that huge part. Hyrule Warriors for their third time, and Wind Waker again. I believe this is the Wii U Wind Waker. So yeah, let's bump this up for better graphics and better um controls. And this is Twilight Princess on the 3DS, I think. We have three versions of Twilight Princess. So let's sort this a bit. So more to the left is better, more to the right is worse. I'm not gonna touch F tier here. I'd say yeah. I'm gonna bump Link's Awakening D tier actually. I definitely say Ocarina of Times. Yeah, definitely the best in C tier. Then I'm gonna put New Link's Awakening. What's it called? Skyward Sword here, and Hyrule Warriors over here. Um, yeah, I'm happy with this order. This order's nice. Um, Wind Waker there. OG Majora's Mask, better Ocarina of Time, Phantom. Let's put Spirit Tracks behind Phantom Hourglass. Majora's Mask here and Wind Waker here. I'd say um I'd say I'm gonna put this in front of Wind Waker. Then we have all the Twilight Princess. Also, we have Triforce Heroes. No reason not to just pretend since I can't I can't actually remove these. Um, yeah. Then we have A Link Between Worlds. Yeah, it's definitely better than Triforce Heroes. Thing is, Triforce Heroes is just unplayable now because, as I said before, it's dead. No one plays it anymore. But it was still incredibly fun while it lasted. Now, how do I end recording?